We do the 8th grade concert to share with 8th grade parents and those.
Live from Gahanna, WDLH-TV presents Lincoln Live with Josh Knuckles and Rosie Letson.
Good morning, Lincoln. I'm Robinson Andre.
And I'm Caleb Triplett. Welcome to our practice show today.
Right now, we are on a 2-on-2 shot.
This means while I'm talking to my co-anchor, I should glance over at me and not stare at the camera.
Now it's my turn to talk. That means my co-anchor should look over at me, but then it looks like we are having a conversation and not reading the prompter.
By now, the director should have inserted our name bar at the bottom of the screen.
This is called a lower third. If you haven't done it yet, you better hurry, because we are about to move on to our lead story.
I hope that we are continuing to glance over periodically at our partner speaks.
When we learn to do news writing, we are taught to talk for 10 to 15 seconds, and then turns to a lead story.
So that's exactly what we are doing. We don't really have a lead story since this is a practice show.
So let's pretend that we do.
The director should be looking at the prompter so they know when to put the shot on the air.
Here are a few choir members talking about tonight's concert.
We do the 8th grade concert to share with 8th grade parents and those who are coming into high school what high school choir is like to show it. And it's also a really fun experience for all of us.
Now we are close up on Anchor 1. It's on camera 1 because camera 1 always shoots Anchor 1 and the guest on set. We want to practice putting a video on the air so the director should get the video on screen as fast as possible. A video is supposed to be a minimum of 20 seconds in length, so it gives the control room time to take the camera shot and then get the video on the air long enough for the viewer to see the video. If the script is shorter than 20 seconds, or if the director waits too long to put it on the air, then our viewers will barely see the video. The director should leave the video on the air until the next camera shot comes up in the prompter, like it's about to right now.
Now we're on a close-up of Anchor 2, as it's on camera 2. That's because camera 2 always shoots Anchor 2. It's pretty simple, right? Now I'm tossing to a standalone soundbite. A standalone soundbite toss should be 10 to 15 seconds in length to help the control room. It should include the first and last name of the person in the soundbite. So here's a few basketball players to tell us about Wednesday's games.
Our goals for the season are basically to win undefeated OCCs again for the 2nd year in a row, 3rd year in a row to win OCCs. We're just putting it in a lot of time in the gym and trying to get better every single day. Obviously, we want to make a run-in tournament this year. Got knocked out early last year, which was really disappointing, so just trying to get better each day.
Very excited for this year because this is our senior season. You know, all of us have been playing together since like we was young pups. Last year we went.
Thanks. I said thanks because part of our style, Mr. Lowry wants us to be courteous and thank people who take the time to talk about our shows. Now we should back on a 2-shot.
If we aren't, it's because the camera 2 operator wasn't paying attention and didn't zoom out to the 2-shot during a basketball soundbite.
Now we want to practice tossing to the reporter.
The director should still be in a 2-shot because we haven't started talking to the reporter yet, but that's about to change.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing great, but I'm not ready to start doing my news yet, so we should still be in a double box.
The double box should stay up until they start to read. That's when the director should take camera 3.
What do you have for us today?
Well, I really don't have anything, but now is when the director should take camera 3 immediately. The director should have to put my name bar on the screen, and it should stay up there for about 4 seconds to 5 seconds. Before you take it off, normally I'd read some announcements here, but we are trying to save time, so get ready to go back to the 2 box. But also be aware that camera 1 is the next shot after the 2 box, so make sure you stand that camera by as well. That's all for me. Back to the news desk.
Thanks. We need to sit in the 2 box on the toss back because most of the times the anchors were asked the reporter a question like this.
Hey Bryden, where will you be spending Thanksgiving and the long weekend ahead?
At my mom's house.
That sounds great. Enjoy your weekend.
Now we are back to camera 1. This is a lower third story. That means there's no tape for the story, but there's a graphic that should already be on the bottom of the screen. We want the graphic to be up as long as possible. So the director should have stood by to lose this graphic and stood by the next camera shot by now. But the graphic should still be on the screen. I'm about to stop talking, so it's okay to lose the graphic because now you have to take the other camera shot.
So what happens when you have a VO that wipes to a stop? Well, we still have to follow our rules with a VO, which means this portion of the script needs to be at least 20 seconds. But since the control room has plenty of time to stand by the stop, I don't need a long toss to the stop like I do on a standalone soundbite. Instead, all I need to do is put a simple toss line. The technical director should have DDR2 in preview right now, so that all they have to do is hit the auto button to wipe to the stop. It's time to do that. So here's a random soundbite from Mrs. Carter in the attendance office.
What we would really appreciate, both in the freshman experience office and in the attendance office, if your parents need to come pick you up, we need to know ahead of time.
Thanks, Mrs. Carter.
That brings us to the end of our show today.
But we have a closer at the end, so we need to treat it like a regular soundbite.
We need to preview what's coming up and then toss to it.
The director should be looking at the prompter right now so they know when to put the closer on the air.
Here's a look at the tree lighting from Gahanna's Holiday Lights. Bye.